So big news today. This is fast. I haven't done a video in a while, and I've been meaning to, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I've had other priorities that I've been focusing on, but this is a big deal. Um, South Carolina has come out with a cease and desist order against Swiss Gold Global and cloud mining Operation Genesis Mining, and this isn't good news. This is bad news overall, and it's really frustrating. And I talked about early in the year this year being concerned about government regulations coming down. And here's basically what is happening. A lot of people have said, what is Swiss Gold Global? Some people don't know. I've seen other online YouTubers talk about Genesis Mining, but they don't know about Swiss Gold Global. Ironically, Swiss Gold Global responded first. They were named in the cease and desist order. And basically, Swiss Gold Global is a company that offers they sell gold and silver, and it just so happens that they also sell cloud mining. And their cloud mining, they're basically essentially partnered or affiliated with Genesis Mining. When you buy from Swiss Gold Global, you're essentially buying Genesis Mining contracts. And the reason that I have Swiss Gold Global contracts instead of just all of my mining with uh, Genesis directly is because Genesis has been sold out, but Swiss Gold basically still had some for sale. It's almost like they pre-purchased a huge block of cloud mining and kind of resold it. But they didn't mark up the prices any at all. It was the exact same price when I bought mine. So I actually have 7.2 terahash here, and I have 8.6 terahash here. Um, and cloud mining is not an incredible investment right now, but I've enjoyed it so far. A lot of people have said this cease and desist order from South Carolina is FUD. However, I got an email from Swiss Gold Global yesterday addressing it. So it is absolutely not, fake. It is real. It is unfortunate, however, and I think I haven't commented in a while since things happened with BitConnect because I basically bought into BitConnect personally. I believed in what they were doing. I felt that there was a great shot that BitConnect was potentially on the up and up, enough so that I invested my own money in it and lost out on some money there. And it's okay. This space is highly speculative and risky, and this is one of the reasons why. I don't know what they're going to do and how they're going to respond to this, but basically the state of South Carolina has come in and said that they're offering unlicensed securities. And I don't agree with this. However, my opinion doesn't matter. Basically anytime that you spend money on something to get some sort of a return, they're calling it a security. The challenge with that is then if I go buy mining hardware expecting to mine and get a return, and I have physical mining hardware in my house, then that's not considered an unlicensed security. If my neighbor buys mining hardware and we go in on it together and we have an agreement that, because I invest X amount, I'm going to get X amount of the profits, then according to the law, in many states in the US, that's considered an unlicensed security. Do you notice the conflict here? This is absolutely garbage in my personal opinion, but what does my opinion matter? Obviously not a whole lot. And so one of the biggest risks of cryptocurrency investing is not that the cryptocurrency will just go up or down. It's how government's going to respond to it. And I'm interested to see, a lot of people have said they need to get their lawyers out, et cetera, et cetera. I can see them doing several things. They're probably not going to get their lawyers out. They're not going to, there's not going to win this argument. They're just not. It's in the government's best interest. I don't see how they win this argument with the government here. And it's one state. So what Genesis Mining and Swiss Gold Global may do, Swiss Gold has already ceased operations in South Carolina. And that's fine. My question is, are they going to compensate in any way for the people who purchase those mining contracts, which would be great if they did? Or they very well may simply just stop paying out on the contracts because legally they may not be allowed to pay out on the contracts, because continuing to pay out on the mining contracts could constitute them continuing to do business, which would be a violation of the cease and desist order. So it's fascinating. I'm not in South Carolina, so I don't know what they're going to do with that. It does make me hesitant. Here's the thing. A lot of people argued A lot of people have argued for regulation. We need government regulation. We need government regulation. The problem is, once you open Pandora's box, you can't put it away. You can't control how the governments choose to regulate. Everybody wanted the government to regulate BitConnect and this thing and that thing, and the crypto space is the wild, wild west. Yes, I argue that that's ultimately a good thing, and consumers have to be more aware. That's my argument. Um, at least in the short term, because I think government's going to overreach. Um, I think they're far more likely to overreach in their regulations, and ultimately this hurts the small investor basically who's investing. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. Genesis, you could not be more up and up than Genesis Mining. I mean, their CEO is out there all over the place. I mean, you could not be more. They have a Twitter. They respond to concerns and complaints, and they communicate. There's been issues with the website from time to time. There's been issues with the technology from time to time. They've always communicated. They've always been. I mean, it, could it be a scam? I guess any company could. If Enron and WorldComp could be a scam, anything could be a scam. But are these guys scamming? I just cannot imagine that they would be at all. If there's any cloud mining company on the planet that's on the up and up, it's going to be Genesis Mining. So I think this is extremely unfortunate, and Swiss Gold Global is being caught up with their affiliation, which is unfortunate as well. I think that it's going to be interesting. Here's what I can tell you. I'm really interested to see how they respond to the people in South Carolina. If they stop paying them out, that's going to make me very nervous about buying more mining contracts when they become available. Already, mining is not very profitable. It takes over 400 and something days to break even right now, which is more than a year. It doesn't mean that I would not buy more terahash, but I would definitely buy more cautious in the current environment. If Bitcoin price goes up, then obviously they'll be more profitable, and it's very possible that Bitcoin price does go up. The reason I may buy some more terahash is just because it's so hard to get from Genesis. But I can tell you, I may only buy 1 or 2 terahash or something. I may try to get to an even 10, just because of the current environment that we're in. It's just, yeah, it's just so uncertain. I love this space, and I'm going to continue to buy Bitcoin. I'm just going to hold on to it. I expect the price to go up or down. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't have a problem buying Genesis mining contracts if I knew for certain they were going to be able to pay out in the current market conditions and in the legislative condition environment. If I hold Bitcoin and they go to, they lose 90% of their value, so be it. I'm still holding the Bitcoin. The risk to a contract is a contract. A Genesis mining contract is worthless if it's not paying out the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin payouts from the mining. So that's where we're at currently, ladies and gentlemen. That South Carolina cease and desist is real. I think it is absolute garbage. And I think that we need to continue to watch this space a lot. I can tell you that right now, prices are low, very low, and I'll continue to watch prices. I still invest every single month in the Bitcoin. My whole goal is to buy more and hold more long term. I was thinking today, I wonder how long it would take me to, with this speculative side of my investment, get to the point that I have like $100,000 in Bitcoin, and I wonder what value Bitcoin will be by the time I actually, meaning per Bitcoin, how many Bitcoins will I have by the time I get to $100,000 in Bitcoin value? I still see a possibility that Bitcoin could hit 50 grand this year, but I also see the possibility that it could hit, 1,000 or 2,000. It's just going to ultimately depend on the government legislation going forward. So here's my cautionary tale. If you enjoy this space, continue to invest in the space, continue to be careful, continue to monitor the space, the areas that you invest in, pay attention to what's going on, whether it's cloud mining, whether it's master nodes, whether it's just ICOs, whether it's holding Bitcoin. Pay attention to the news, keep an eye on what's going on. Only invest in money that you can afford to risk, because we truly don't know where this is going to go long term. I'm optimistic, as I've always been, on the future of cryptocurrency as a whole. It's going to be fascinating to see how we navigate over the coming weeks and months with government regulations and pending regulations. Thank you so much for watching. Click that subscribe button. I'll continue to come in here, and my favorite thing to discuss is the current state of the economy, the current state of Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency, and the current state of regulation. So stay tuned to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon, give this a thumbs up, and I would love to hear from you. What is your feedback? What do you think is going to happen with the South Carolina cease and desist? How do you think Genesis is going to respond? I hope they just simply pull out of South Carolina and don't pull out of the U.S. as a whole, but you never know. And hopefully they're able to continue to pay out the people in South Carolina. But I'm afraid that might, even paying out may be a violation of the cease and desist order. I'm telling you, in the crypto space, many times the government is working against us. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching.